and he's had a long, hard day. I think most of his days are long and hard, at least that time. And just before he goes to bed, he decides to go for a night tweet. And there he sees a stream filled with irate fans. It seems that the Ford Ranger fan site, believe it or not, there is a Ford Ranger fan site. That was news to me right there. But the Ford Ranger fan site manager, whoever he was, had announced that Ford Motors had ordered them to cease and desist with a lawyer's letter, that they were to be penalized $5,000. They could no longer use the name of any Ford products. And Scott said, oh my God, this sounds terrible, and I'm sure there's more to the story, but it's 11 at night, let me get a good night's sleep, I'll check on it in the morning. So he went in the next morning a little early, and he gets in, and it turns out that every channel of communications into Ford Motors is being clogged by irate fans, admirers, from other products that had bigger followers. Other fan sites were saying, are you going to shut us down too? People were saying, how dare you do that? These people love you and you're stepping in their faces. You know, and this is part of it on Twitter, is kind of public. Scott says, look, I have to do a lot of checking. There's lawyers involved with this. Like everybody else, I got to stand in line to do with it. Give me a chance. By 10 a.m., he managed to put out a message that said, I've learned that there's copyright infringement involved here, and that the incident being reported is not unique. By 3 p.m., he could announce that Ford Ranger failed to mention that they had been told for 2 years to stop reselling Ford copywritten material on T-shirts and souvenirs and tchotchkes, which was how these guys were making a living. And they'd been asked very nicely. They had ignored telephone calls, and they got a cease and desist letter. Scott had a little conference with that Ford Ranger site manager, and they agreed to simultaneously announce that everything had been settled, and the site manager had forgotten certain items that might be relevant to the story. Less than 24 hours went by. An absolute fire, a new Motrin Mons wildfire type thing could happen. But one guy on Twitter essentially made everybody lay down their torches and go home.